Dolphins fans, I got a lot to say. This is going to be a long one, and you guys are going to want to listen to this because after watching that utterly embarrassing performance that we had to sit through yesterday, it comes to my attention that this team is absolutely broken. This team has no dog. This team has no fight. This team is undisciplined, poorly coached, and all the fans clamoring, "Oh, Tua's gonna come back and save the season. Tua's our savior." Tua is not gonna save this broken team. Yes, the team as a whole will look better when Tua comes back. We'll go on a little winning streak when Tua comes back. Watch, you bet. Bookmark this. Next week against the Cards, the offense is going to be lighting it up. Tua's going to be throwing it everywhere. All the fans are going to jump back on the bandwagon. Oh, we're saved. But when it comes to crunch time, this team will fold. This team will fold. You can come back to this video. This team will fold when it's all said and done. Will we make the playoffs? I don't know. And frankly, what's the point? What's the point? Are we really going to beat the likes of Baltimore, Kansas City, Houston, Pittsburgh? Teams that have been built the right way. Teams that, in the trenches, are built to run the football effectively, built to stop things to run effectively, and having a guy that can lead them under center. When you need a victory. Now, granted, I love Tua. I'm a Tua fan. I clamored to get this guy re-signed. Even with the injury history and all of that. But I mean, just seeing the way this team has played, even with Tua earlier in the year, and granted it was early, but the penalties, the situational play calling, which I'll get to because all fans are, putting all this on McDaniel. And McDaniel has, he has his issues. This is not all on McDaniel. I'm sorry, it's not. It starts at the top with Chris Greer. He has built a very soft, injury-prone, old football team. He's paid these guys that, are sitting on the sideline making jokes, having fun. This isn't funny. This isn't funny for the fans that pay their hard-earned money to go see this team. It's embarrassing. You can chalk up the Miami Dolphins football game every week to being one of the worst football games played. And I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. And a lot of fans are sick of it. McDaniel yesterday. Let's talk about it. Everyone's calling fire McDaniel. McDaniel's horrible. I don't think his game plan was terrible. I really don't. All the fans clamoring, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And then when he runs it 40 plus times, now we want to complain, oh, Tyreek's not getting the ball. Oh, Waddle's not getting the ball. I believe his game plan was, we could do enough on the ground, get enough points to win. The defense will stop them enough, and we can use Hill and Waddle almost as a decoy. Let's get through this week. Let's get 3-3, and let's have Tua come back. And it would have worked. It would have worked if Ingle doesn't fumble inside the 20-yard line. If Mostert doesn't fumble when we're driving. If Sanders didn't miss a field goal. It would be a totally different situation. Yes, McDaniel's situational play calling. 3rd and 3, he throws the fade route. Those are still issues. His clock management towards the end can be better. Not draining the clock out on that last drive when we kicked the field goal, giving them time to go and get a field goal. That was a mistake. Burning that timeout, having the Colts coach trick him or whatever. That was an issue, yes. But was McDaniel's game plan that flawed? No, I don't think so. I think that game plan was enough to win the ball game, and it could have. But I'm sorry, this team is not good enough with a third-string quarterback to commit 2 fumbles, a missed field goal, and to win a football game on the road. I'm sorry, it's not. And that's not on McDaniel. The players have to make plays to win. Now, whose fault is it that Jason Sanders is still on this football team? Whose fault is it that Liam Eichenberg, Robert Jones is still on this football team? Whose fault is it that Duke Riley, we're signing Jordan Poyer, we're signing Odell Beckham? Whose fault is it? Chris Greer. Who drafted Chop Robinson in the first round when we could have had a plug-and-play guard in Barton? Or a plug-and-play player in Brian Thomas? Or even trading down and acquiring more picks? Whose fault is that? Chris Greer. I do not trust Chris Greer, our general manager, for another draft. Do not give him another draft. The drafting on this team has been subpar. And that's the problem. We're paying all these overpriced vets who are injury prone, getting hurt. You got Waddle, Hill, McDaniel just having a ball on the sidelines. I don't think yesterday was funny. There's nobody to hold these players accountable on this football team. Seems like the only unit on this team that's being held accountable is the defense. And who is that led by? Anthony Weaver. And where is he from? Baltimore. And they know how to win there. Guys, I'm fed up. I'm not even going to recap the yards and the stats. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, this football team is 2-4. It's lifeless. And now we have Tua coming back. And maybe, he goes on a 9-game winning streak. Oh, yeah. But what's going to happen? What's going to happen when our backs are against the wall and we need a win in December or January? What's going to happen? Well, history tells us what's going to happen. I'm interested to see the season play out. I'm interested to see how Tua comes back. But right now, my faith is at an all-time low. And what I saw yesterday is a complete unmotivated football team. The Miami Dolphins franchise has gotten it wrong for over 20 years. And we've been doing the same rinse and repeat. And we're really on the doorsteps of just knocking it all down and rebuilding again. When will this change? When will this football team finally change? And it starts up top. This week we got the Cardinals. Tua's probably coming back. I don't want to say 100%. We'll see what happens. I appreciate all of the Dolphins fans watching this, if you have watched it all the way through, because we're sick and tired. I know I am. Where does this football team go from here? I have no idea. But Mike McDaniel's seat is getting hotter and hotter. And it's up to Tua to not only save his team, but to save this man's job.